All right, gangsters. So we are about to do our first modification on the ROG 12 RK. And one of those things is we're going to add a ladder to the ROG RK and, you know, start to turn it into a ROG RK survival series, which is the, you know, ultimate plan here. At least, you know, something comparable anyway. So I just wanted to talk real quick about this ladder system because it comes all in pieces. So if you see, I've got this kind of laid out here, somewhat put together. I've got the bolts in here, but I just wanted to show you real quick how this is laid out and how you can, if you're going to do this, how you can pretty quickly and easily figure out where pieces are oriented. So each one of these long bars here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that R? Okay, if you look that way, that would be the R, right side, and this one has an L. So you can just lay those out with the L and the R on the bottom. And then the steps, there's 5 of them. They come with a solid back and holes perforated in the front. So if you just make sure that all of these holes are facing towards the front, it's pretty quick and easy to put this together. Basically, you've got 3 different size bolts here. This is the size bolt that you're going to use to put the ladder rungs onto the side rails. And these 2 sizes, I'm not completely sure yet. This whole kit does not come with any instructions. So this is kind of a figure it out as you go kind of thing. But you know, us men, we don't read instructions anyway, right? So who cares? Thanks to Jamie for sending all this stuff to me. I do appreciate that. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but these are the ones that do seem to fit. So I am using these for the ladder. I'm going to play around with different sizes when I get to the brackets. The brackets will attach here and here, and then there'll be a top bracket here and here. So the short bracket will go on the top. Bottom bracket also has an R. I don't know if you can see that. So the bottom bracket is longer, and that one will go on the bottom. This one will go on the top, and you just put the right one on the right and the left one on the left. I'm going to put the whole thing together, and then I will also show some more video of me actually mounting this thing. Full disclosure, I am no professional. I'm just I guess you'd call a handyman. I just figure things out, okay? So I'm not a professional. They did pre-drill these holes for me, and I'm not being sponsored or anything by them. I bought these things, so, you know, there's no, I'm just telling you like it is, okay? I will say that I'm really impressed with the quality of the hardware that they sent. First of all, they sent plenty, more than I need probably. They appear to be stainless steel bolts and locking nuts, and these are 1/2-inch nuts, and then the other end, the bolt side, takes a 3/16-inch hex head, okay? And then I've also got a hex head on my drill. Just to explain real quick what I had to do here, the top bracket was a little bit snug. So basically when you put these bolts in for the top ladder rung, what you're gonna end up with is a really tight configuration here. You can kind of see that those are touching, right? For mine, and it may not be true for yours, but for mine, it was just close enough that it really was not fitting in there real good. I couldn't just push these in. What I ended up doing was loosening these bolts again. I loosened these bolts on both sides, and then I took one of these bolts here and used the drill and drilled into, with the bolt, those 2 holes, so that and they just kind of wedged their way in there. I'll put it that way. It's not a perfect fit. It's a little bit snug, I would say. That might be a workaround for you if yours happens to be a bit of a challenge. And like I said, you know, I don't know if I'm using the right hardware that they intended for the right locations that they intended, but I believe I am. If not, they work. So there you go. These are the bolts for the bottom bracket of the ladder, which is down here. So these bolts will fit in here like that, and this will basically end up right around in this area. This bracket is for the 2 butt ends of the axes, okay? And it will basically go right there. the next one, and these are all laid out in the order they'll go on, okay? This one here will be for the shorter axe on the bottom, and you know, we'll just say it'll go here. I'm just gonna kind of have to play these by sight, because I'm not exactly sure where they're gonna line up at. And then the same thing true for the top longer axe. You know, it'll be, I don't know, let's say out here somewhere. And then the next piece that we'll be putting on will be this one here, and I can't remember exactly where this one goes. I can't remember if it's on this side or this side, but at any rate, it's got the hole in it. And they drilled these holes for me. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah. Axes already have a hole in the butt end, and that hole is for the master locks that they also sent. And then the other bracket will hold the head end, you know, like thus and so. And like I say, I'm just gonna have to play with the spacing on those, because I'm not exactly sure where they need to go, but guess what? We'll figure it out. So this ladder will be mounting right here, just like thus and so. Okay, that bolt is at least started, so it shouldn't fall out. Okay, let's get us a ladder or a step stool. All right, let's try this. Note to self, get a little ladder when you're mounting these, when you're mounting your ladder, because you can't stand on your ladder to mount your ladder. Much easier. Okay. So there, so you guys can learn from my screw ups. I just got a little step stool here, is all I got. But it's enough. So, first bracket actually goes just to the right of this roof rack bracket. So it'll go right there. And so you're wondering, so how does he know where it goes? All right. Yeah, that's a good question. So how I know where it goes is I looked at pictures. That's it. That's how I figured it out. You know, I think that it's right based upon what I'm seeing. And I did, you know, kind of like loosely fit together all these parts and pieces just to make sure everything was gonna somewhat work. So this one here is a little bit tight. I'm having to actually screw this bolt in, which is interesting. I want to at least get one bolt on there somewhat so it won't fall off, and then I'll maybe I'll be able to use my drill then. There we go. Okay. All right. So go ahead and stick the drill up here. Maybe that'll. Hey, look! I got a place to put my drill. All right. It looks like these are all going to be just a little bit snug. So this is the same kind of scenario I ran into with the with this top shelf right here. They were just a little bit snug, and I don't know if it's just from the powder coat or you know what exactly it is, but now these here I think were slightly out of alignment. Not terribly, just slightly. Not enough to make it so you couldn't put it on there, but enough to make it, well, challenging. So, but you know, my whole point of doing this is just to kind of, you know, help some other people that are going to be doing the same thing to kind of avoid maybe some of the issues I'm having. And, you know, like I say, ain't nothing major. I mean, every project you ever do, you always have stuff come up. I mean, I've never done any project. I can't think of a project I've ever done that it just all worked out perfectly, you know? It's like there's always something. And so I pretty much expect it. It doesn't surprise me or disappoint me or freak me out. I just like, there you go. That's what I've been waiting for. Now that one went right in. So anyway, when you put this bracket on, you just need to make sure that the holes for the bolt locks are on the right hand side. That's really the only critical component to that. Okay, so this one goes right here, just because, well, again, I looked at the picture, and well, that's where they put it, so it worked for them, it should work for me, right? You want to get you a good drill, get you a DeWalt 20 volt 2 amp brushless motor XR drill. This one here is the model number DCD796. Awesome. Awesome drill. Okay. I'm probably going to have to move you because we're moving on down the row here. There's the bracket for the small axe. There we go. So that's what she's gonna look like. She's up there. Now let's put the other bracket up here. So that will be this one right here. So in order to space this one out, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. So now we are ready to put the big one on. Let's go ahead and stick it up there. All right. All right. And get that thing lined up. Now I may have actually, may not have made this one quite, I might have made this over too far. So I might have been telling you wrong. I think this is just, this one's a little bit fatter, and it needs to be a little bit more this way, I think, to actually work. So I'm gonna have to take this one loose and probably move it over maybe 1 or 2. I was talking previously about how it would be 7 holes over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, what I discovered is at 7 holes, it puts it just in a fat enough spot on this axe handle that it's really pretty difficult to even get this to latch. So I said, well, I'll just move it. No big deal. Well, in going to take these bolts apart, ended up having to stop the camera because it took me, oh gosh, probably close to an hour. For whatever reason, that locking washer, like, I don't know, welded itself to the bolt. So I ended up having to hacksaw the head off of it. So I spent a good little bit of time fiddle farting with that. So I finally did get it off, and I did move it over. So the proper distance, just to save y'all all of this hassle, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 6 and 8 is a pretty good spot. It seems like it mounts up here well, you know. So anyway, thought I would share that with you, my little challenge and faux pas. So now let's move on to the shovel. For the shovel handle, we're gonna go just to the left of this bracket here. Put this thing on, and I'm thankful that they sent me plenty of spare bolts, because I did kind of tear up that one bolt pretty good. And the locking washers, I don't know, I like to use fresh, not locking washers, but locking nuts. I like to use fresh locking nuts. I think they just, I don't know, hold better. It's a psychological thing, I'm sure. But rather than reusing the old ones, I did use new bolts and nuts on the previous one. Go ahead and see what we got here. All right, so here we go. That's pretty much it. So if we flip this like that, I think we'll actually end up with a little bit less hazardous scenario there, I believe. You know, if you got out of here, you probably wouldn't want to hit your head on that if you decided to get up on a stool or something next to this thing. So we'll go with that. We'll go with that right there. I think that'll work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. I think using the drill, I had a tendency to strip these, so I think I'm going to do these by hand. It's a little slower, but at least I don't run the risk of stripping them. Slowly but surely, it's becoming a survival series. Some of you might be asking, like, why did I not just buy a survival series? And, well, the reason is because everywhere I looked, a survival series was about $6,000 more than a regular 12 ROG RK. So I kind of got to thinking, you know, if I do the math, I think I can actually come out financially better if I just take a regular 12 RK and, you know, add the things that I want to add, because I didn't really want everything anyway. Like, I didn't want a TV. Like, we don't watch TV when we go camping. We go out and do stuff. You know, and if we do, you know, get stuck in the camper, we just use our iPad or our phone and look at YouTube videos or whatever, which, you know, we don't really need a big TV. So anyway, TV wasn't a thing for us. But I did really like the axes and shovel and ladder. I thought that was cool. And I also wanted to have a solar system that was enough to keep us off grid for a few days at least, you know. So what I'm doing, and that'll be my next modification video, is I'm going to add, in addition to these racks here, I'm going to add a portable solar panel, 200 watt solar panel, two Renogy smart lithium batteries, and it's a Renogy panel as well, 200 watt panel, a MPPT controller that'll be mounted on the inside rather than the kind that's mounted on the panel itself. And then I'll have a Bluetooth transmitter that I'll mount in there that I can monitor the charge capacity, I mean the charging that's going on, solar charging, and the state of the battery, basically, from a phone. So I don't have to have a monitor sitting somewhere. And if we're nearby, we can just use the app and check what the status of things are on our phone. I think I prefer that, I believe. We'll find out if I prefer that when I actually put it in there, won't we? I think I prefer it. How about that? So it is coming probably in the next week or so. I'll have that video done. You know, as long as that project goes okay, we'll see how it goes. Like I say, I'm not an electrician or a, you know, I'm just an old telephone man. I'm retired from AT&T after 33 years of working for them, and now I actually just write songs for a really cool. Do a plug for Songs of Love Foundation. I'm a songwriter for the Songs of Love Foundation, and I write songs for sick kids and their families. They pay me for it, but it's, you know, not really big money by any means. I'm not doing it for the money, I'll tell you that. But it's a very cool non-profit organization that I'm involved with that I really like. I get a lot of good vibes from it, I'll put it that way. It's just kind of cool. But basically what we do is we write a custom song for that kid and their families, and you know, try and encourage them. You know, does it fix the problem? No, but you know what? Music is it's a good encourager. It's a good helper, or can be, you know. So anyway, that's the intent, and I really enjoy it. So that's what I do now. But so basically I'm mostly retired. All right, there, I think I finally got it on there. Let's see if it works. All right. Well, it didn't actually end up where I was hoping it would end up, but I think it's okay. I was kind of intending for it to be here. I don't know how I miscounted that, but somehow I did. Not surprising, but I think this will be fine. I think it'll hold it. So if you wanted it to be here, you probably have to move it probably over to, you know, if you wanted it to be around in here somewhere, you'd have to move it over a couple. So you could put it, you know, in any one of these from 9, 10, 11, any one of those could be where you could put it. So I didn't actually put it where I intended. How shocking is that? But this will be fine. I'm not upset about that one. All right. Okay, so there's that. And all right. Okay. So let's see how the master locks go in there. So these are the master locks. Just a bolt lock. Let's see if we can get them in there. All right, well now that's a little tighter than I was expecting. This is why you have to check these things out, I guess. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then these just go on here like this and so. There we go. Boom, locked in place. All right, so I'll show a video of the whole thing, so you can see what it all looks like together. All right, cool. I'll show the rest of the mounting of the ladder here as well. So you too can turn your ROG 12 RK into a survival series. Like I said, I've just got the top of this mounted right now, just temporarily actually. I'll show the rest of the mounting of this as well, because basically I'm going to have to drill 2 holes there and 2 holes there. All right, so this just goes to show you what I don't know about this trailer. So I was thinking that this was going to be going through into the space where the microwave was, but I took the microwave out, and the point at which these brackets attach is actually below the floor. So I was like, well, where the heck do they go then? Well, as it turns out, they go into the actual frame of the trailer. So the part that makes me a little nervous about that is that I know there's wiring inside there. So I think I need to be pretty darn careful drilling these holes, because I'm gonna have to catch some wire. Just saying. I think it's just some of the undercarriage, underlighting. So I don't think there's anything really big underneath there, but I think there's some wiring in there. So at any rate, I'm going to show you what the inside of the space where the microwave is, for any of you that are curious and want to see what's going on in there. We are actually going to take our microwave out, because we don't use microwave. We don't have a microwave in our house. Well, we're not microwave people. This here is the opening where the microwave is at. So this is what's underneath. So you got your water line coming in for your faucet. You got your drain line coming out for the sink. And then you've got your water feed for the quick connect shower thing on the outside. So that's pretty much all that's in here. There's a lot of empty space. I'm going to be taking this piece out, because we're going to actually use this space as additional storage, because I mean, dang, look at all that. All kinds of storage up underneath there. So there you go. It's actually, this point right here is where the bottom bracket is going to come through. Bottom of the ladder is attached now, if you can see that, but it goes through the frame. I'll show you in the back side of it what it looks like. All right, here's what it looks like up underneath there. And basically what I did is I drilled a pilot hole with a smaller drill bit through the whole thing first, and then I came through the front and the back with a much larger drill bit, big enough to handle the bolt. That's what the whole thing looks like.